How's it going? All right, I'm glad you guys all showed up for this Q&A. It's going to be a fun one. Microphones, we've got one on this side. And where's the other one? Right here, I think? Yeah, right there. So you want to maybe start lining up for the Q&A. But before we get into that, if you don't have tickets for UFC 187, they're still on sale. So the MGM ticket office still has some tickets. Head on over there after weigh-ins. Make sure you're able to check this epic card out tomorrow night, live and in person. All right, and then also the Ultimate Fighter finale, July 12th here in Vegas. Tickets go on sale May 29th. So that's kind of the end event for International Fight Week. If you want to check that out, May 29th, tickets are on sale. All right, let's check out the feature on today's special guest.
Growing up here in Santa Cruz, California, at a young age, I was always fighting. You know, I was quick to engage. If someone gave me a reason to, I like to get physical. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit of an adrenaline rush, and I started, you know, mastering and fighting. And that's when I started realizing, you know, this could be my future. I had a friend at AKA. He opened the door for us to come in, and I met Javier, and I told him, you know, I'd like to try myself out. And he, oh, okay, let's see what you got. You got a mouthpiece? I was very nervous at the time. No, you know, he's like, all right, we'll go get one. You know, me and my buddy ran out the door, got like a $2 mouthpiece. Came back in the gym, like, all right, I got a mouthpiece. Next thing I knew, I was in the ring with some of the best guys out there that were fighting in the UFC, and I just winged it. Just started throwing head kicks and wild punches, and took a corner and then just whapped him with a big head kick right across the noggin, and he spun, got wobbled, and ended up shooting in on me. I sprawled around him, spun behind him, and choked him out.
The things he was able to do really, really impressed the hell out of me, and I said, wow, this kid's got some talent.
Javier pulled me aside. He loved my style, and he really told me right there, he's like, I think you could be a champion. It drove me and inspired me to kind of change my life. I knew exactly that was what I wanted to do. You know, after that first experience, it was a life-changing moment. I believe I'm the best in the world, and I'm just going to go out there and prove it.
Let's bring him out. One of the most exciting middleweights in the game. Somebody who's going to be watching that co-main event tomorrow night very closely. Luke Rockhold.
All right, I'm ready for all you Vitor fans. Bring it on.
He's ready for it. Before we get into your questions, we're actually going to unveil some new International Fight Week events. So let's see if we can pull up that schedule on the screens for you guys to see. All right, Luke, you went to this last year. You'll be at it this year. What are some of your favorite events?
I'm always a pool party kind of guy. I'm not going to lie.
Shocking.
You know, I have a great time everywhere. It's obviously a new year. Things have changed a little bit, but it's always a fun experience, and looking forward to it.
Always a good time. Charity bowling, that's always a fan favorite. I don't know what there's a food challenge where I don't really know a lot about that, but I feel like I'd like to participate somehow. So there's food challenges. There's also something really cool called Adventure Combat Ops, which is you get put in a realistic combat situation, but you get to do it with your favorite UFC fighter. So that should be pretty cool. You can actually pre-register, get some additional information if you go to UFCregister.com. So this year it will be unlike any other year. You guys are really in for a treat. International Fight Week, always a blast, right?
Always.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Always good times. And also, bidding opens in June. So stay tuned to UFCFightWeek.com so you can find out what events you have to bid on to be a part of it. But other than that, keep checking the schedule because it's going to be a fun time. You can hang out with Luke Rockhold. So now that you're here, first I want to ask you, how's your best friend DC doing? Fighting in the main event. I know you're very excited for him.
I'm very excited. It was an opportunity arose and took advantage of it. I think it's a great time. He was training, and I think the last camp with Jones, he wore himself down, a little too much pressure on trying to perform and kind of beat himself up over it. This is kind of everything happens for a reason. A blessing in disguise, having a short camp, but he feels fresh, feels right, and he's calm. He's not like getting emotionally invested like last time. So I'm excited for the fight. It's going to be a war. Anthony's a very tough guy, but I believe we got it.
An incredible main event tomorrow night. All right, let's start with your questions. That's why you're all here. We're going to start over here.
Hello. Luke Rockhold,
What's
MC
up?
Hydroponics. Hey, I flew in from Bangkok, Thailand. First, I want to say, when you cupped Tiger by the balls there, that was awesome. You pissed off half the country, but that was awesome. My question is...
It was just a cup. There was no grab. Yeah.
Okay, well, potato.
Hey.
My question is, who do you think you have a better chance in beating, Weidman or a rematch with Belfer?
Either way, I'll be happy. I think either way I win, I get that rematch with Vitor. I love it. And otherwise, Weidman's a great champion, but I know I have what it takes to take either one out. So
watch that spinning roundhouse.
Spinning roundhouse, Hey.
Good luck, man.
Gonna finesse,
Go ahead.
Okay, Luke, first off, thanks for coming out and doing this for the fans.
Thanks for coming out.
No problem, man. My guy James Glory at MMA Fighting wanted me to ask you, how exactly do you see the Cormier-Rumble fight going down tomorrow night?
I've watched Rumble a lot, and of course I know DC style. Rumble is a heavy hitter. He's got pretty good wrestling defense. I'm never, know too much about his ground game. I know maybe he's grown, but he's got to worry about everything from DC. He can't just, that's not going to be like a Phil Davis fight. He's not just going to have to worry about getting taken down the whole time. He's got to worry about getting hit with the hands, with the feet, and the takedowns. And DC is twice the takedown artist that Phil is. So, I mean, he's got so many threats to Rumble, whereas Rumble's got those heavy hands. I think, obviously, we have to avoid the power for DC. And, I think he can take his time on the outside, kick, punch, get some takedowns. And I think he'll start to run away with this fight. About third round on, maybe get a finish on the ground or so. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a war for the first three. I know that. But beyond that, I've got a lot of confidence in my guy.
Thanks, man. Good luck getting that strap.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, Luke?
Good, man. Good.
Hey, two things before I ask my question. One, you're from good stock. I met your folks in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think
Good
it's
stock.
like
I like
10
that.
votes. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
Thank
from good stock. They some good people.
I love them.
My main thing is, second thing, I do believe you're going to be the next middleweight champion, without doubt. And I'm not saying that because you're here. I truly believe you are.
Thank you.
But honestly,
that makes two of us.
Well, thank you. Honestly, do you want Victor Belfort to win so you can get that rematch and take that belt?
I'd love to get my hands on his little chicken neck and ring that thing right now. I'm not gonna lie. We've been through a lot. He's been through a lot. I gotta thank Vitor for making me a better fighter, and I love to return the favor. So that'd be beautiful.
I think you will.
I'm really happy that fight happened. So I really think it changed my career, and maybe rethink how I fight. That being said, like I said, I don't wish anything good for Vitor. I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he's going to win. And I think Weidman's a better fighter.
Actually, I agree with you on that. That's two of us. Chris Weidman is going to win. You're going to take it from Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
We have a Brazilian section that doesn't necessarily agree with that over there.
Hey, it's their people. You got to be behind them. So
I know obviously you want the rematch with Vitor, but it seems like you and Weidman are really friendly. Every time I see you guys, you're joking. You were just hanging out with Gian Vellante the other day when I saw you guys. You have a pretty good friendship.
Yeah, I stole his best friend, Gian Vellante. So what's up, Weidman? Come get it. No, he's a great guy. I got nothing against Weidman, but there can be only one, and we've known this day was coming for a long time, and I believe it's going to happen. So. Yeah, I think me and Weidman will have multiple fights. I think we're both young and at the top, and I don't see many people competing with us. I've always foreseen that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow night, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's go back over here.
Hey, what's up, Luke? Your last 4 fights, you destroyed everyone in your way, whether it was Lyoto, Philippou. You took out Lyoto and you said on the air that, hey, if one of the guys in middleweight falls out, I'll take on and fight for the belt tomorrow. But those guys are still in there, and then we saw John Jones is off the event. Did it ever cross your mind that maybe you go up to 205 because you could take out Johnson and tell Cormier to go down to 185?
A lot of you guys are getting psyched. I saw a lot of tweets when that fell apart, and then everyone was telling me to fill in. I was being quiet about that because I'm a fighter, but DC puts in a call, calls me up. He's like, hey, man, what the hell? He's like, everyone wants you to move up and fight. It's not right. Like, he's getting all pissed at me. I'm like, hey, I didn't say anything. What'd I do? I'm always open. I think I got a lot of work to do here at middleweight, but I'm not scared to move up. I'm not going to move up for just fights here and there. If I go out there, I become the champion here, I'd want to go up. I'd challenge for that if that were the option. So.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Get that belt.
I got a lot to do. A lot to do.
I feel like DC wouldn't like that cut to middleweight. So
we'd rearrange the weight classes at Team AK. Huh?
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah. No.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. So our friends at home don't believe we're here at the weigh-ins. So I'm wondering if you can help us prove them wrong by taking a selfie with us on the weigh-in stage.
What?
Yeah.
Megan, I'm gonna give this.
All right.
clearance.
Yes.
What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
The girls, come on.
Yeah.
Go.
I know I forgot to say that, guys. It's not my rule. It's just the rule I get told to say that we can't let people up here, but they're coming up and you guys are awesome. So
no more. Just this one time.
Sorry that
dude.
I'm going to get yelled at, but it's fine. I mean, I can't say no to that. While they come up here, let's go to another question.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah.
2 questions, unrelated. First, what kind of advantage do you think that Vitor had when you fought him because of the TRT, either physically, the strength, the speed, or whatnot, that he won't have tonight? And secondly, being that you're from a surf town and you've talked about some of the territorial people there, I'd like to hear your best street fight story in or out of the water.
I got a good one there. TRT is obviously, a form of steroids. It helps you in many ways. We all know it's pretty simple. It increases strength, speed, and confidence, I think, is the biggest issue with it. It gives you that alpha male complex, that invincibility, which is key for fighting. Obviously, if you don't believe in something, you're not going to do it. If you don't believe in your golf swing, you're not going to have the proper technique. Same thing with punching. So that's my opinion on it. Surfing. Been in a couple scuffles, I'm not going to lie, in the water. It's not a good place to go. This one time in Santa Cruz, I came out in the morning, it was like 8 a.m., a little beach, and go for a surf, just a mellow surf, and I met a young kid out there. We were surfing together, and a couple people were out. And this big guy, he's got, a beard, bald head, and he's paddling around. He's real aggressive, you could tell, and he's kind of looking for trouble. And the kids kind of like, people take waves, burn people, we call it. And so the kid almost drops in on him, but doesn't quite pull in. And the guy's really aggressive, and he starts snapping on the kid and paddling over to him and trying to get on him. And I was like, the hell is a tiny little kid? This is a big guy. And I'm like, hey, I yelled out at him, hey, pick on somebody your own size. And he just immediately clicked and paddled straight for me. I was like, whoa. And this is before I started fighting. I was just doing jiu-jitsu at the time, competing in that. And I'm like, hey. I'm like, if you want to do this, let's do it right. Let's take it to the beach. So he starts paddling the beach immediately. We paddle in. I walk up. I set my board down. He's in the surf in his knee high, ripping off his wetsuit, throwing his board down. I'm just waiting on the beach everyone's walking their dogs, family. It's kind of a weird time to get in a fight. I'm not gonna lie, kids everywhere. And so the guy's trying to rip. He rips off his shoe, showing me all his prison tattoos and everything, trying to intimidate me. And I'm sitting there, and he's comes up and he squares off with me, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And the guy gets into cat paw stance. I swear to God, I was I think I might have been 20 at the time, and he's a big guy, and he gets into the stance, and I'm like, what are we gonna do? This is a start. So he throws this weird shot at me, and I end up just going rock'em sock'em robots and tagging him with a few shots. And he's like, whoa, I'm out of shape. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You're out of shape. I'm like, he's like, oh, and trying to call it off. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. I'm all, you asked for it. Everyone's kind of cheering me on. Everyone's getting behind me because they could kind of see what he did to the kid. And I ended up, I was kind of in this weird middle ground. I didn't know what to do because he was trying to call it off. And so I ended up throwing a kick. First time I've ever thrown a kick in a street fight on the beach. And I clipped him upside the head, and he wobbles back, and he's like, oh, and then he freaks out and runs away. And as he's running away, he realizes he forgot his board. And the little punk kid that I saved, he runs over to his board and like goes to like stomp out the fins, and the guy realizes he left his board and sees the kid like stomping his fins out, and so he gets real pissed, and he's like, "This isn't over," and like runs away and gets in his truck, and I was like, and we started to like paddle back out to go surf, and I was thinking about it, and like, that guy's kind of crazy. I was the kid like paddling. I was like, and I grabbed the kid, and I was like, no, let's get out of here, let's go. So I take him. We go to my buddy's house around the corner, and sure enough, the guy's just doing loops around East Cliff, just going all around the surf, checking. I don't want to go too far with this, but he's
I mean, there are children, so just keep it PG.
So the guy was hunting us down with like a baseball bat, basically, for like about an hour, trying to like hurt us all over the place, and it was quite the experience. It was one of my last street fight experiences, and it goes on a little bit longer, but it ended up okay. We ended up making friends. He knew a big gangster that my friend knew, and he almost killed this little kid. He found him on the road, and somehow I saved him, and we all made friends and
Story hour with Luke Rockhold.
Thank you, man.
I know you have another question.
No, that was my second one.
That was it?
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you have to get your cell phone for the selfie.
Selfie time. Sorry,
obviously.
girls. I didn't want to reach. Wait, come on.
Come on up here.
What's your girls' names?
Well, first, what are your
Maya.
names?
Cassidy.
Hey, Cassidy.
Are you doing a
I got the
selfie?
long arm,
okay.
so-
Here, let me get out of the way.
Take the selfie. Megan, you want to get in here?
No, I
Hey, come on.
Rockhold's the only cool
You gotta
one
go
on
this
this
way. We're
stage.
gonna show the whole crowd.
Oh,
Cheer
yeah.
on,
Then
come
make him really
Come on,
jealous.
Megan.
All right. Let's do it. Have fun, guys.
Enjoy the weekend.
Before I ask my question, Megan, your interviews, reporting, and co-hosting is exceptional. I want
thank
everybody
you.
just give it up for Megan.
That's nice. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm 49 years old, started jiu-jitsu 2 years ago in Atlanta at Creighton MMA, in the best shape of my life. Plan on doing this the rest of my life. What words of encouragement, Luke, do you have for those in attendance here as well as watching over the internet to find academies in their local communities and get involved in the sport?
I think you just, obviously the social media outlets are out there to find what you want. I really believe in having that outlet for myself. Just keeping distracted, having a passion, I think it definitely drove me into a better direction and helped me focus on what I wanted in life. So, I think it's just, obviously being here, there's plenty of gyms here in Vegas and all over the place. So, I mean, it's a pretty open market. So,
Right.
check it out.
All right.
I have a friend that is an aspiring fighter, and I'm asking this question for him. When you get in a ring, when he started, his nerves wore him out before he ever stepped foot in the ring the very first time. So when you step in the ring, do the nerves still get you before you get in the ring? How much energy do you expend before you even step foot in the cage?
Yeah, it can get to you if you let it. Obviously, the more times you fight, the better you get at it. I've experienced the nerves one time. One time I was in the back. It was my third fight, my first fight in Strikeforce, and I was hitting pads in the back, and I was just, the nerves that got to me. I actually lost my second fight. I'll tell you a story about losing my second fight. I was like, when I was striking, I was striking. When I was doing jiu-jitsu, I was doing jiu-jitsu. And I was wrestling, I didn't realize what MMA was at the time, and I didn't mix it all together well. And I lost my opponent for my second fight a day prior to the weigh-ins. And I had worked up for 2 months trying to fight this guy. And so I was invested with get $2,000 or something for the fight and all this. So he basically pulls out the weight at David. The only guy that would take it was a 205 pounder. And so I jumped up in weight class to fight this guy, and I was beating him up everywhere on the feet, and then he was a big Fresno State wrestler, so he was running around trying to take me down, and took me down, and then he picked me up and out of a triangle. I had him in a triangle real easy, and I was like, oh, I'm going to finish him here, and I tried pulling up, and then next thing I knew, I was elevated, and I was up over his head, rampage slam style, and I was like, oh, shit. Excuse me. And I was like, all right, here we go, and I held on, and I took a dive, and He hit me with a few more shots and ended up. I survived through the slam, but he hit me with some shots inside the triangle and I faded out. That was a scary moment for me. It made me realize, because I loved MMA and it was my dream, and it made it realize that it could be taken from me that easy. You know, I knew I was super good. I didn't think anyone was going to touch me at the time, and so after that, it was nervous. My next fight, I came in there, I was in the back. I started hitting pads with my coach Javier, and he'll tell you, it was like I started hitting pads, and I've never felt so weak in my life. I felt like just powder puffing. I was trying to give it everything I could. I had no strength, and so I got into the fight. I'm like, screw it, you know, I got to get in there now. And I went in there. I was just real nervous right off the bat, and luckily I got my nerves back, and I ended up coming through and pulling that fight off. From then on, I got my confidence, and I got just kind of, I'd say tunnel vision is the just complete relaxation. Try to block all the bad thoughts out if possible, and I really don't. When I walk into these arenas these times, I don't take it in. I don't try to take in the environment. I just really just kind of get in my zone, almost blurred vision, and just walk in there and just act like it's every day. It's an everyday thing. So that's my approach to it, is just kind of just don't focus on the outcome. I think when you focus on the outcome, it creates anxiety and it builds. I just need to enjoy the moment and let it be. If I just fight, I know I'm going to go out there and perform and do it my best, and don't focus on winning or losing.
Thank you.
I don't think it's not normal for guys to get nervous. Sometimes in the back you can kind of see which fighters are a little nervous before they start. And some guys are very open about talking about it, that every time, I think Cowboys even said, like, every time before a fight, he's like, wait, why am I doing this? You know, and I think it's a natural reaction for some people, and some people have honed it in, like yourself.
Yeah, I think it definitely, the thoughts enter and they creep in your head, all in the back. You're like, why do I do this? You're like, and then by the time I start making that walk, I start to lose it and just get in that zone, and I shut the cage, and then I feel at home. It just feels right at that point. But your mind messes with you in the back. You're like fighting a guy on a predetermined date on a certain time.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to do. Fighting is easy when it's just boom. It's like that, no problem. But
yeah, it's crazy.
something about this big stage, but it can get to you sometimes.
Well, you seem to be handling it pretty well. Let's go right here.
How you doing, Luke?
Good, man.
I was going to ask you, if you had one dream super fight, any weight, any fighter ever, who would it be?
Hung Man Choi.
Good choice.
Just to fight a giant?
Just to fight a giant. Why not? You know, I don't know. That'd be fun. I mean, I don't know. It's always fun to fight a legend. You always look up to people, so I don't know. I always looked up to Fedor, so it'd be cool to sling it with the old legend.
And after the Q&A, can I get your autograph on your poster?
Yeah. I'll be right here. I'll be signing autographs for sure.
I like how you said after the Q&A, thanks, so that I didn't have to get in trouble again.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
Me and my cousin flew over from Ireland and saw the...
Yeah.
So did a bunch of other people.
The Irish are coming.
Yeah, so the question is related to home. So who do you reckon is going to win? Conor McGregor or Jose Aldo? And why?
I'm going to be real here. I'm going to be real. This is a great matchup for Conor. And he's a bigger guy. He's got real good movement. He's got a lot of power. But Jose's a boss. He's been the king of that division. I mean, the guy's a true legend. He doesn't get enough respect for who he is and what he's done. Given that, I mean, Jose's going to fight his fight. He's going to fight Conor's fight. They're going to be slinging it back and forth. He's not going to try to take him out of his game and use the wrestling. So it's going to favor Conor. I see Conor. He can catch him. He's the bigger guy. He's the longer guy, and he's got the power. But he's faster. It seems like he's got more that fast twitch muscle, and he's straighter with his punches. Whereas Conor kind of loops a little bit, but he's very clean, very technical. Jose's got the leg kicks too. I'm excited to see the fight. I really have it like a 50-50 toss-up. I can't even pick one. I mean,
Jose's going down in one.
Jose's going down in one. We'll see.
Those Irish fans, you guys have a lot of pride. I love it. Johnny, what's up, my man?
What's up, Megan?
Hey, what's up, brother? Lou! What's up? You looking good, young? All prepped up?
Hey, you dress how you feel, man.
Look good, feel good, do good.
That's what I say. We're talking about street fights. First street fight, and have you ever lost it or lost one?
First street fight? Well, I mean, like, you want both those? That's a two-part question, right?
You have two.
All right,
first.
How about this?
Yeah.
Luke, your best street fight.
You need your own fight pass
I can't
show.
go into a whole nother story. I've already done too much storytelling here. I've pretty much won all my street fights. I think there's one I was pretty sloppy and got in a little scuffle, and I took some shots, but I had a good crew of friends around me. There was one time fighting on the street. It was my last street fight, I'll tell you that. My last street fight, there was a guy that was looking for trouble with my friend. He was trying to 6'8" guy, long guy. And
So like me.
just like you, yeah,
Cool.
of course. And I was like, oh, you don't want to do this. This is a bad part of town. You're outnumbered. This is not your time. I will walk away. And there's a bunch of us there, and just leave. And the guy wouldn't take it for an answer, take no for an answer, and he was looking for it. And he goes for my neck. And immediately, instinctually, I took his arm and I went for like an arm throw. Little did I know, there was a light post on the other side of me. I cracked my head on the light post, knocked myself out. And sure enough, all my friends handled business. I woke up, the guy was running away up the parking lot, bleeding, and that was my last street fight. And I was like, fighting on the street's not really worth it anymore. And so that's when I started my career.
Cool story. All right, one last thing. I've been to quite a few of these things, and I do this every now and then. Luke Rockhold, would you follow me on Twitter?
Whoa.
He asks every
that
time.
was formal.
This is how I know Johnny. 'Cause he always gives himself a Twitter shout out.
Conor McGregor told me he would.
Hey, if Chael Sonnen will follow you on Twitter, I will follow you on Twitter.
Hey, well, he's got 0. One last thing. Las Vegas 187. Salute to everyone that's tipping one back. Have a great fucking weekend. Memorial Day weekend. Baby.
Kids,
All right,
kids,
Johnny.
kids. Keep it clean for the kids.
Hey, Luke. I have a buddy that's from Watsonville who wanted me to ask you a question. You know where Watsonville is?
Watson, yeah. There was our competing wrestling. They were the high school champs back then. They were tough wrestling team.
Who was your first trainer? Where was your first gym? And was it out of Watsonville?
Believe it or not, it was. It was a dojo when I was about 5 or 6 years old, out of Watsonville, a little dojo out there. So I did that for a few years, and then I ended up wrestling in junior high and high school out of Santa Cruz, and I took up jiu-jitsu there with this guy Garth Taylor. I started that probably like sophomore year, and I didn't really fully commit to it till after high school. I kind of committed to finishing wrestling, but that was the base of where I came from until I joined AKA.
All right, thank you. I hope all the pieces fall into place, and I get to see you versus Weidman in New York in December.
I like that.
Oh, yeah, you've been asking for Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, manifest destiny.
That would be fun.
Hey, Luke, I just had 2 quick questions. First off, do you feel that you have better wrestling than Chris Weidman?
No.
Okay. And second of all, do you see yourself at any point in the future where you've accomplished everything you want to do in the middleweight division and then taking a run at the light heavyweight title?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of briefly touched on that. I got a lot of work to do here at 85. So I mean, I don't like to be one of those guys that thinks too far ahead. Obviously, you have dreams and think about things as a fighter, and you always have goals. But my goal is here to dominate and to get that title from tomorrow, whoever wins tomorrow night. And I don't. No, of course, my wrestling's not as good as Chris Weidman's, but my offensive wrestling, my defensive wrestling is pretty damn good. I think my wrestling's underrated. I can compete with these guys in a lot of ways, but I think the other realms of the fight are going to tell the tale. I think the wrestling is going to be pretty. It's not going to come to any effect. He's gonna probably try to take me down. And I could see it being more of a stand-up fight because I don't think we're gonna negate the ground game and the wrestling, and I think I got a little more finesse on the feet where I can work my angles.
Be an interesting matchup for sure.
Good to meet you. So, quick question. We've got Vitor Belfort tomorrow night. So it brings up a thought. Nevada State Athletic Commission recently increased the drug penalties for performance-enhancing drugs. What do you think about that? I mean, it's a 2-year penalty is kind of like a third of a career. I mean, maybe a quarter of a career, but still, pretty strong. Do you think drugs
Yeah,
are an issue?
well, if a guy that comes in and cheats and takes a loss from a clean fighter, that's a 2-year setback. I mean, it's, does he deserve anything? I mean, you're ruining guys' dreams, beating these guys, cheating. I really think if these guys get caught, I think they shouldn't get paid, and I'm happy. 2 years, I thought 3 years would have been nice too. I'm for a clean sport, man. I've always been clean, I always will be, and what can I say? So
I think most of the fans agree with you.
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew, and I have 2 questions for the legitimate and true #1 contender and the uncrowned champion, Luke Rockhold. The first question, I was very lucky to be at UFC Fox 15, and the energy when you finished Lyoto in that building, I can't even put it into words to describe. Your face and Daniel's face, it was just unbelievable, something I'll always remember. So my question is, what do you think the energy level is going to be like tomorrow night when DC in the 4th dumps Rumble on his head and takes home the lineal championship?
Right? I like it.
Very
it's going to be it's going to be amazing, man. It's going to be amazing. You're calling a shot in the 4th.
In the 4th, sir. What are you calling it in? Sorry.
I like your call. I could really see that. I think Rumble hangs in there for 3. We get through that, and I think we could run away. I don't know about dumping on the head of it. Maybe a little choke out or finish in the 4th or the 5th. That's
Well, dump on the head, then the choke out. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, we got to create the elevation for the fans. Yeah, we got to get the dump. Yeah. No, I think there could be some. You could see some wrestling tomorrow night, and at the highest level.
And my second question is, Jacare Souza was just at home recently and said he would like his next match to be either a title shot or a rematch with you. What do you think is going through his mind when he says that? It doesn't matter what's going through his mind when he says that.
Yeah, I was going to say, who cares? I don't know.
Because let me tell you what's going to happen. December 5th, history will be made in Madison Square Garden. No matter who the title holder is, Luke the Rock Rockhold will go in all the way from the West Coast, and when all the smoke is cleared, the 4 horsemen of AKA, Habib the Eagle, Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, and Luke Rockhold will take all their belts back to California and Team AKA.
My man. I'll be coming out to Biggie Smalls, going back to Cali.
How much did you just pay him for that? That was so passionate. Oh my gosh.
Hey, what can I say? We're going to bring him onto the team.
Greased his palms out there.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt.
I don't even know how you can follow that, but
I did not pay the man. I did not pay the man. No, thank you.
So he says.
Hey, Luke and Megan, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
All right, so Vitor Belfort's been my favorite fighter since I can remember.
He was mine too for a while.
And I just had a question. I coach a mixed martial arts team in Alaska, Counter-Strike MMA, and I fight also. So, like, I respect other fighters that I fight. Just a question: would you ever consider training with Vitor Belfort, when it's all said and done?
I've lost a lot of respect for Vitor. I think he's a fake. I think he's a fraud. And I was a fan. I was a big fan. I was a huge fan of Vitor. And it's not that I lost him. It's not I'm bitter or nothing. It's just, man, the guy gets away with it over and over again. And the guy needs to pay for his crimes.
I got one more thing. My best friend is a Luke Rockhold fan. Can you give him a shout out?
Does he have a name?
Aaron Colombo.
Aaron Colombo, what's up, brother? Thank you.
Luke,
yes.
I have a question for you, man.
What's up?
We got to keep it PC in here because there's kids.
Yeah.
But I got to go back. There's one show I watched called
I knew I wasn't going to get out of here without that. Damn.
Luke, what happened, man?
Hey.
Was it a setup or was it real?
I mean,
tell the truth.
Millionaire matchmaker. I went out there to have some fun, make it a good show.
Right.
Okay. They definitely push you into certain things, push you into certain scenes, and encourage you to do different things. The last part, spit or ... Yes.
I was being careful. Kids, you know.
It was my voice was actually dubbed over the last scene. It was a joke backstage. It's pretty funny. So I was like, oh, that just happened. They just did me dirty. Editing is a but you know, I was of course I'm not exactly looking for love. I never close the door, you know. I'm always out there having fun, try to, you know, experience everything. It's not necessarily where I go to find a girl after all this time, to find some girl who wants to hook up with a millionaire.
Hey, I get it. The last thing, it's actually not a question, more a comment. Vitor's a punk, and I want to see the rematch when you whoop that ass.
I love it. There's nothing I want more.
Can we go back to the millionaire matchmaker? Just clarify, Patty doesn't hate you, right?
Patty does not hate me.
Okay.
Patty loves me. She didn't kick me off the show either. She gave me a big hug, big long hug. I said, all right. And then they edited it out like I got kicked off. I was like, God damn. They did me dirty.
All right. Well, bravo, you know.
Hey, Luke. First and foremost, thanks for taking the time out to entertain us all and answer our questions. It's really honorable. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure. I'm blessed to do what I, you know.
That being said, let's segue. So between my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriend, both, every time they see you, drool and absolutely lost their mind. So if you could do me a favor, and when you win the middleweight title from Weidman or Belfort, can you please get a personal disfigurement? That way my future girlfriend does not drool all over you. Best of luck to you in the future, brother. I really appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you. I don't know if I had any questions to answer there, but I just try to keep my ears clean. Prettiest ears in the sport. It's my claim to fame.
That was awesome.
This is actually a perfect follow-up to that. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you, because as soon as they announced that you would be on this Q&A, I knew the female count would increase threefold. So I appreciate that. Big shout out on that. So I'm actually here with my best friend too. So my question is not going to be serious at all. So you're on a deserted island. So this is just going to tell us who the kind of guy you are.
My wheels are turning.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
on a deserted island. You can only bring one. Who are you bringing? Brittany or Ariani?
Brittany.
Think long and hard about this one.
I'm going to take Megan. I love it.
Not an option, but okay.
Hello, Luke. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, and I was really impressed in your last couple of fights, mostly like the Bosch fight in your technique. The trend has been that a lot of fighters are doing these jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I'm wondering what the chances are of us seeing you out there in one of these big tournaments.
Yeah. It's hard for me to invest time and money to pursue a competition, because if I was going to do something like that, I'd have to give it a lot of commitment and pay to do a jiu-jitsu tournament, whereas I get paid a lot of money to fight. I've given the Metamora situation, they pay some decent money. I could be into that, but I mean, I got a lot on my plate right now. I'm more focused on taking on the winner tomorrow night and bringing that title back to Cali. So. That's my focus right now, but maybe something down the line. I don't know. You know, if the matchup, a good matchup, and the money was right, I'd love to. I've done jiu-jitsu for a long time, but yeah, my focus is MMA, so it's good.
All right, thank you, Luke.
Hi, Luke. I'm Michael Duarte from Holland, Beverwijk near Amsterdam. Amsterdam, yeah. We have a community in Holland. It calls UFC Nederland. And all the fans are asking, would you ever want to fight in Amsterdam or Holland, and against who?
I'd love to go out there and fight. Holland is obviously, they have a lot of culture in fighting. You know, fighting who?
Give me one name, please.
Give you one name? Chris Weidman.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Amsterdam's awesome, so I might even make it out there next month for a little business.
Thank you very much.
You travel more than I think any other fighter.
I don't know. They just keep throwing things on my plate. I'm like, work, Amsterdam, maybe. Yeah. I can think about it.
All right. right.
I was like, photo shoot, so maybe we'll see, do something.
All right.
I was like, Amsterdam's cool, but we should probably take it to Ibiza, maybe. I don't know. No,
That's a party beach that he's talking about, of course.
it's just a beautiful island. Yes.
Hey, Luke. Just a quick one. I was wondering if the mind games affect you before a fight, for example, with Bisping. Did that fuel you going into the fight, or is it something you can detach yourself from and just sort of focus on your ability?
I definitely was detached in that fight. I wasn't emotionally invested. A lot of people thought I was getting caught up in it, and I was going to come in there with, show emotion in that fight. I was just taking. For me, it was like lighthearted fun, just jabbing back and forth with him. I kind of enjoyed it. I don't really talk crap about a lot of guys unless they deserve it. There's only 2 guys in the history of MMA I've really ever talked bad about, and I think they both deserve it. So Bisping, deservedly so, got every bit of it from me. I enjoyed it. So hey.
Would you try and talk crap about Belfort in the rematch, or just
I talk bad about people who deserve it? So
happy days.
I think he fits into that category. So I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow night, man. I don't know. I'm excited to fight either way. I think like I said, it's a win-win situation for me, and it'll be big. So
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Curiously watching.
Let's go over here.
Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
My name's Dante. I'm a local here in Las Vegas.
Right on.
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming out and doing this for the fans as well. I've been a long-time UFC fan, long-time Vitor Belfort fan as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Spit it out.
I gotta
Come
ask
on.
you.
Hey.
I gotta ask you. All right. I got a lot of respect.
There's
I got a lot of
distance.
respect for you. I got a lot of respect for Chris Weidman. I know that you guys are both the force to be reckoned with for sure. But as a Vitor fan, I gotta ask you, man. Did you learn your spinning back kick from Vitor?
I don't really throw the spinning back kick too much.
Oh, God, we're going to get in so much trouble.
Somebody's going to kill me. We'll see what Vitor looks like tomorrow night. I think that'll tell the tale of who he is and what he's all about. So that's I'm very curious. I mean, Vitor is a great fighter. It's just hard to give him credit for everything he's done because I know what he's been doing.
I understand.
I mean, I would like to see how good of a fighter he really is. Maybe tomorrow we might see the real Vitor Belfort. Let's see who shows up. I'm curious. Either way, I'm excited. So we all want to see it. Let's see what he's got. Because you see him, he changes. One day he's a huge 205 pounder. The next day he's a small welterweight. He's gone through a lot of changes the last couple of years, and it's hard to really take him seriously. I mean, I was a big fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was a huge fan until I started realizing what's up.
I'm more excited to see you and him fight than Chris Weidman. I feel like you're more of a threat than Chris Weidman, but I feel you guys are both champions.
I'm excited either way, man. I'm gonna make a good fight for the fans. Either way it goes down, I guarantee it. You guys are gonna enjoy it.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Keep them butts out of those seats.
Hey, Luke. So this is not fight related at all, but if you were on death row, what's your final meal? Appetizer, entree, beverage, and dessert.
Good question.
It's a great one.
Hard hitting. I like it.
I had this question. A lot of people say rice. I don't get that one. I'm like, rice? No. One of my favorite things is cornbread with some honey butter. Oh, there's nothing like a good cornbread with some honey butter. It's good. I'm a big dessert guy, so I like I don't know, mud pie would definitely fit in there somewhere. My mom makes this amazing layered kind of mud pie with Oreo cookie crust and just bomb. Main course.
2 sides.
Oh my, okay, no, too much. I'm sure the hungry fighters backstage are loving this question too.
Yeah, right. Oh man, it's tough to say, man. I don't know. I think just a good steak. I think a good steak that I cook myself. I think I can throw it down. So,
thanks.
Bone in fillet. Throw it down.
Go ahead.
Is it my turn? All right. Are you a Nike, Reebok, or Adidas fan?
What's up? Adidas is my Adidas, you know.
What's up?
They're like the same company, aren't they?
Huh?
And Reebok?
Sambo?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah. Okay.
Adidas,
all right,
Adidas
cool.
is my company.
Cool.
Adidas is my company. This is my brand. I love it. And truthfully, this is where I'm at. So I'll adhere to the Reebok deal, and I'll wear my Reeboks inside the cage. But outside, I'm all Adidas, baby.
There you go. I love it. All right, and then I got another question. So, according to a good source, Vitor tested for high levels of testosterone for this fight. I know you're not surprised, but what do you think about that? Ow!
Yeah, you know.
Let's go Budweiser. Nothing.
Just a random Budweiser.
Just a random Budweiser shout out. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see. You know,
He did test. It's a reliable source. And,
It's a reliable
he did
source.
test,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe he's fighting clean. I don't know. He's changed a lot. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I hope they enforce blood testing. It's happening more and more now. I finally got blood tested for the first time in my last fight. I was excited about that. And so I think there are things moving in the right direction. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see who shows up tomorrow night. I don't know, man. I got no.
You're nervous.
I don't know.
It seems like you're nervous, man. I've never seen.
I can't speculate because I didn't hear anything. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I heard he was going. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
No comment.
All right. Have a good one, man.
So I have a question as a fighter to get your opinion. So we have a championship fight for the light heavyweight that will have a champion, but we also have a fighter that was a champion that had the title stripped for things that happened outside of the cage. So as a fighter, not as us here as our opinion, but as a fighter, who would you view as the true champion, John Jones or the winner of this fight?
I mean, John Jones is the best fighter in the world at 205. Rumble could be. I think DC, they had unfinished business. I don't think he really beat up DC. He won the fight, but he didn't win. I mean, he won on the cards, but I don't think he really finished the fight. It didn't hurt him. It didn't put him in any jeopardy. So he won the fight. He's the guy. He's on top, but you're gonna have a new champ tomorrow night. That's for sure.
So do you feel when John comes back, when he gets his shit and stops being a dipshit outside of the cage?
Correct. Hey, kids.
Yeah, he's a young guy, but if he comes back, do you think it's legitimate that he could come directly back for a title shot?
There's nothing else for him. He's got to come straight for the title. I mean, he's got to clean up his life. Obviously, he's got family and a lot of things. I think it could help him. I think it could potentially better him as a fighter. And if it doesn't, I don't know what will. The guy needs to obviously. This should wake him up. Taking his belt and suspending him, I don't know. Did they enforce 1 year? I don't know what it was. But, yeah, definitely come back for the title. And I'd be worried for that guy because I think he's going to be pretty motivated on the way back.
Yeah. Thanks again. And I think you're the guy to beat Weidman. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, I just got told to wrap it up, but I'm going to give one more question. What do you got?
Hey, I've been an MMA fan since the very beginning. Hoist Gracie, Ken Shamrock, Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva. MMA has become an international sport all over the world, and Brazil is hosting the Summer Games next year. Do you see MMA as an Olympic sport?
Yeah, I'd love it to be. I think Olympics is gearing towards what's popular these days. And it's kind of sad because they're taking out, the core sports that started it all, and they're trying to reorganize the format and everything. So I think we keep those, but I think MMA has grown and it's so popular, and it's I think it deserves a place. I think obviously certain hoops to jump through. Let's get into New York first. Let's just start there with New York, and then we'll move forward. But I think we could potentially make it there, definitely, and I think it deserves a spot.
That being said, do you see yourself competing for Team USA, winning gold?
Well, you couldn't get paid, so just keep that in mind.
I'd walk up there with my crutches and just be like, yeah, let's kick some butt.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a long time before anything like that would happen. But Yeah, I mean, it'd be definitely a dream to obviously compete in the Olympics and do something like that.
Yeah, because I see you with a gold medal and someone like Vitor with silver. Right.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's all. Oh my gosh.
Mister, yeah, come on. Let's get it.
Go ahead.
We got to finish. We're going to finish on the good note.
Gosh, yes.
And then we got to finish with him, too.
No, Luke, you don't make the rules.
This is my show. This is my show. So, come on. I'm here with the fans.
Good man.
Don't touch this thing.
Good afternoon, Luke. How are you? We flew in from Scotland this morning to see Cowboy. So literally, come 11 hours to see Cowboy, and I wanted to buy him a beer, and I can't buy him a beer because he's fighting. So can I buy you a beer after this? Second question.
I might be indulging. I'll be around here.
Quick question.
Definitely. Come find me. I'll be around somewhere.
Good man. Quick question. I flew 11 hours to see him. That's how important he is to me, to see him in the flesh and see him fighting, because he throws down every time. Never lets the fans down. Never anything. He's there. He fights. He turns up. He's ready. He's a man.
He's a great guy in and out of the cage, you know. Good guy, for sure. He deserves it.
Who would you fly 11 hours to see on the current roster? Besides yourself, obviously.
11 hours, huh? There's a lot of guys I'd fly 11 hours to see. I'm a fight fan, man. I not only fight for a living, I love what I do. I'm blessed to do what I love. There's a whole bunch of guys I'd fight. Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, anybody on my team, and a lot of guys, beyond. So I travel the world a lot. I'm like the guest fighter. I got guest fighter. I got guest fighter of the year award last year, and so I put in some miles.
There's a plaque that he hangs.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is come to Scotland, fight in a Scottish crowd, and if you think the Irish were loud in Dublin, come and listen to the Scots when they raise the roof this year.
I love it, man. I love it. Can't wait. I'll be there.
All right, last two. See, last two.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What made you fight in the first place?
I was always a scrapper. I was always kind of defending my turf and protecting my friends and family. I never looked for fights, but I was always quick to react, and it was always natural to me. I had two older brothers who used to beat me up, and so I had to defend myself. I had to fight to get free. And I was doing general ed in college, and I saw it becoming a career, and so I decided to try and take it up, and luckily it worked out. So it's awesome. I don't know. They pretty much got it.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Thanks, man.
What's up, Luke? I just got one quick question.
Yeah. What's up?
The fight when you beat up Bisping pretty bad. Thank you. I won a lot of money off that. I want to say first of all. Second of all,
can I get my cut?
My buddy back home made me ask you a question. Are you surprised for all the smack talking he didn't bring more of a fight inside the cage?
I knew what I was getting into. Supposedly he beat me up in a sparring session, right? So I mean, I knew what I was going to get into. The fight went well for me. I can't, definitely could have been tougher, but I caught him, and he was who I thought he was.
Well,
I'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna keep betting on you. Thank you, Vic.
Thank you, man.
Well, thanks, guys, for coming out. We really appreciate it. Give it up for Luke Rockhold.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the fights tomorrow night. Looking forward to it.
Yes. Don't forget, tickets for UFC 187, tomorrow night's stacked card, are still on sale, so you can go to the box office right inside the MGM Hotel. And then tickets for the Ultimate Fighter finale on July 12th, sort of the end of International Fight Week. Those go on sale May 29th. You don't want to miss this card. It's incredible from the very first fight till the end. And look who's joining us.
Oh, Cowboy. My man. You got a fan out here.
This is for you. Well, to give.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, I won't be able to wear it out today because we're giving it away, so I figured you could find someone worthy.
Oh,
signed by everyone.
Signed by everyone, huh? We got everyone on here. Courtesy of Cowboy.
What
a guy.
Not you. You got to sign it, and then it's everybody, huh?
Let's give Cowboy a hand here, huh? Give it away. Hey. Now we got to choose. This is pretty big right here. This is pretty
big. Nothing to do with this decision. Not the scale.
I got.
Oh my gosh.
Let me sign it real quick here. Megan, why don't you mastermind some kind of structure how we're going to give this thing away?
Nope, that's all you. All right, maybe the guy from Scotland who came for Cowboy.
I think there's no other man that deserves it more. I got to wear the cowboy hat real quick here. It's a little tight.
Ooh, that is not a good look for you.
I'm going to go join the PBR next door, actually. I'm going to go check that out for the first time.
All right, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Don't forget, tickets on sale. The guys will be hitting the scales at 4 o'clock.
Oh, excuse me. I'll go ahead, yeah.
4, 1, and then comes the 2.